How are you?
I'm well. How are you doing?
A little chilly up here in Boston.
Yeah, a little different weather over in the Northeast.
Yeah, it snowed yesterday.
Yeah.
Hadn't seen snow in a while.
Well, it's not snowing here, but it's chilly as well.
Yeah.
We got a nice little bit of rain this weekend.
That's what I heard.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I heard you guys had a little bit of rain.
There we go.
So Bob is here. Laura is here. Only Chair Alvarado.
Thanks for one more meeting and we'll get started. Let's see what's coming on here. Bring Juan over. He doesn't have to speak, but he can be part of the meeting here. Just give a couple minutes for President Suddath to join us.
Sounds good.
She's right here. She's coming in.
All right. That's what I'm talking about.
So I'm just going to get the recording started again and we'll be ready to start.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I have a training every day this week from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Oh, very
enjoy.
Nice and early.
You must be in heaven.
Yes, I am. Can't you tell? I'm glowing right now.
All right. Well,
at least I'm wide awake now.
Great.
I'm in Boston, so I want to get this meeting started. We have a quorum, correct? We're ready?
We
Yes,
do.
sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So let's get this show on the road. Please call the roll.
Chair Alvarado.
I am here.
President Suddath.
Yes, ma'am. I'm here.
Well, Mr. Chair, we have a quorum with 2 directors
right.
present.
All right. Since we don't have any attendees, so how can we have any public comments? So do we have any public comments?
In regards to the next item, public comments, items not on the agenda, we have not received any public comments and we do not have any attendees.
All right, cool. So let's get this rodeo started. Next item.
Okay, next item, matters from staff and general staff. Presentation of a cooperative liquid asset security system, otherwise known as CLASS program.
Yeah.
Director of Administrative Services, Justin LaBelle.
Okay.
You take it away.
Justin.
All right. Good morning. All right. So I would like to, well, before I pass it over to Bob Scholl, he is representing CLASS. He'll give us the presentation today. Just a brief introduction on this program. CLASS is a pooled asset management program similar to CAMP, which the board had just approved and said we just recently created a CAMP account. And historically, we have been using LAIF, which is the local agency investment fund operated through the California State Controller's Office, is pretty much our only kind of investment vehicle for funds that we don't immediately need for the operations of the West County wastewater. So CLASS is a newer program, was just founded, I believe, this year. Bob can get into a little bit more detail about it, but it's I know there was some interest. It's I know we partnered with CSDA, and so we want to just have a presentation and see if the committee thinks it is an option that we should pursue as an agency. So Bob, I'd like to hand it over to you.
Great. Can you hear me okay, Justin?
Yes. Yep.
Great. Well, thanks in advance for your time to everybody. Cheryl, I think we've met a couple of times at conferences, I believe. So good to see you again as well. I'm going to be fairly brief, probably 10 minutes maximum, and then open it up to any questions, any comments that the group might have. Going to share a screen here in just a minute, but a couple things out of the gate. I'm in Livermore, close by, always available firsthand in person for follow-up meetings, whatever the panel or the group might need. So please keep that in mind. The presentation today is fairly short. It's about 6 slides. If the entire presentation would help, I can certainly make that available to Justin. And then any other marketing information you might need about California Class or Public Trust Advisors, please let me know. I'm very aware of the fact that you have chosen to, at least for some of your short-term cash management, choose CAMP. That's a great product. I really don't sell against the other pools in the state. I really don't sell against LAIF either. With LAIF, our story, and I think the CAMP story is probably most appropriate as a complement to LAIF. LAIF has its place in the state. It's the large elephant in the room, if you will. But as far as local pools are concerned, there are now 3, including California Class, CAMP, as you just mentioned, and CalTrust. Why another pool in the state? There had been demand over the past several years for more options as far as local government investment pools are concerned, and thus California Class was launched. Justin mentioned we have a partnership with CSDA as one of our sponsors. We're also sponsored by the League of California Cities. So with that, let's quickly share the screen here. Hang on one second. Justin, can you see that PowerPoint?
I cannot. No, it has not coming up yet. If you'd like, I can just load up the PowerPoint here.
Why don't you give it a shot? Because for some reason I'm having some difficulty.
Let me do that here.
Okay,
please.
Great.
Thank you.
Here we go. Does that work for everybody? I can put it up now. Okay,
that works for me.
And you just tell me when it's time to want to move it. So
yeah, the only thing to give you a heads up on the next couple slides, the bullet points are staggered. So if you keep hitting the forward button, we'll populate that entire slide. So if we could go to slide 2, and then if you can, there we go. Pre-populate. If you keep going, it'll fill up the entire slide. So we mentioned off the top the other local government investment pools that are in the state. One thing that has come up for us, and it's kind of natural, there might be a few other bullet points there, Justin. There we go. One thing that's come up for us across the state, we launched the pool in June. One of the questions that has popped up is that, is this a brand new pool for Public Trust Advisors? And by way of background, Public Trust Advisors is the investment manager and administrator on California Class. We were hired by the JPA to serve that function, but we are the largest provider in the country of local government investment pools. This is our 17th local government pool across the country. We collectively manage about $65 billion in those pools across the country. So this is really all we do, quite frankly. I'll talk about a few of the other things we do, but this is really our focus, is the local government pool space. And again, we're the largest provider in the country of these pools. It talks here about the options for special districts, agencies, et cetera, across the state. We talked a little bit about LAIF. And I think, as many of you know, California 53601 really kind of lays the framework for what public agencies in the state can invest in. It's not the most exciting story in the world, in the investment world, certainly, but that is the bedrock of what's available to public agencies in California. So you can go to the next slide, Justin. So California Class is a joint powers authority local government investment pool. We'll talk about the options in just a minute. There are 2 options within the, there we go, perfect. That's it. Thank you, Justin. 2 options within the pool. There is a stable net asset value option, which looks a lot like CAMP. So the net asset value of the pool never changes. One way to look at it would be as a government money market fund in terms of its structure. We were very fortunate in launching California Class in June. The first funding was actually in July, because we've been able to take advantage of all of these rate hikes that have occurred over the last 4+ months or so. We've also kept the weighted average maturity very, very short. It's currently about 28 days. So essentially every month or so, these securities are rolling off, if you will, within the pool and being reinvested at higher rates. Our rate right now is very comparable to CAMP. We're at 4.11% this morning, with another rate hike of 0.5 point expected here this week. You'll see a corresponding increase in that rate. We'll talk a little bit about an enhanced cash strategy that we make available as well. I'll talk about that in just a minute. The beauty of a local government pool is it is governed by a board of your peers. Right now, we have four board members, 2 cities represented, 2 special districts, and a county. We'll probably leave it at 5 board members for the foreseeable future. One of the other, to get to the last bullet point, one of the other, I guess, feedback, if you will, across the state in the public space was that maybe there could be an improvement in technology and how that relates to the customer service experience. We spent about $3 million prior to launching California Class to create a participant portal that we think is best in class. I think you'd hear that from across our participants and those people that have either used the participant or done the demo. We really wanted to be very easy to work with, increase or enhance that user experience. And in conjunction with that portal, we have a team of 5 people on a client services desk in Denver, Colorado, where Public Trust is headquartered. So we're trying to be as easy to do business with as possible. The portal is very intuitive. You can do any transaction you like, custom reports, trade confirmations, move money back and forth. If we have instructions by 11 a.m., Monday through Friday Pacific time, money moves that same day. So we think that's, in addition to the structure of the pool and our track record across the country, we probably get as much positive feedback on that portal as anything. So Justin, you can advance there. As far as the structure and the board, which I just mentioned, we were hired, Public Trust Advisors was hired by the board to be the investment manager and administrator of the pool. And just real quickly, the custodian is U.S. Bank. I mentioned Public Trust as the administrator and investment advisor. We also handle all distributions internally. Oric Harrington and Clifton Larson Allen, the legal counsel and independent auditor, are very well known in the public space for the services they provide. So we feel we've got 2 of the best on the legal and accounting in those areas. Justin? So this is what California Class looks like as far as options are concerned. The box in the middle there with Prime Style at the very top, it is a Prime Style money market fund. Again, a fixed net asset value. What changes, what will fluctuate is the yield based on current market conditions. AAA rated by Standard & Poor's with an M designation, which is the highest rating you can get for a local government pool of this sort. One thing that's really, I think, quite nice about California Class is we have no minimum investments at all. Right now, we have a couple of very small participants. We have a cemetery district that just came on board outside of Sacramento for $2,500, to give you an example. We also have several cities and counties with large contributions into the pool. So no minimums whatsoever, unlimited withdrawals. You can also have as many sub-accounts within the pool as you would like to designate for particular purposes for the organization. I mentioned that the rate is calculated daily as well. The conversations to this point have been about California Class as they have been with CAMP because of what's happened with rates. With rates going up over the last 4 months, to be in a stable net asset value product is a great place to be. And so we've seen a tremendous amount of activity. I know CAMP has as well. However, when rates plateau or when rates pull back at some time in the future, we have an enhanced cash option, which is there on the right-hand side. So if you have the ability to put money away, let's call it, I'll be more broad than the chart, 6 months to 18 months. If that's a time frame that works for you, you can attain a higher yield by going with an enhanced cash strategy. It is not a stable value net asset value or stable net asset value. That net asset value can change. So the fundamental difference is we're going further out on the yield curve, certainly than a prime style fund, but with an enhanced cash strategy, when the time is right, that is available for all of our participants if they choose to move into a longer term strategy when rates do plateau or pull back. Justin, we're ready for the last slide. So this is a little bit of a recap about Public Trust. Again, based in Denver, we're about 140 employees in total, all credit, research, trading. Our headquarters are in Denver, Colorado, with 9 offices across the country. To give you an idea of our size, in both Colorado and Texas, 2 of our largest relationships where we manage pools, we have north of 5,000 participants, individual public agencies, in just those 2 states combined. So again, this is a big business for Public Trust. We don't do anything else. We have no high net worth group, no other institutional group. Everything for Public Trust is public funds investment management. The safety first investment policy or philosophy obviously is, the backbone of everything we do, with looking at what's expected for public agencies in California, with the priorities being safety, liquidity, and yield. That is our sole focus. The firm was started about 15 years ago by 7 individuals with extensive experience in the public space, combined 100+ years of experience, that thought they could do things maybe differently, perhaps better. Started Public Trust 15 years ago. Again, we've grown to almost 65 billion in assets under management today. And I mentioned before, this is our 17th local government investment pool. So that is really the core part of my presentation. The other thing I wanted to mention is that for public agencies across the state, beyond the pool, we try to be as consultative and as much of a partner as we can to our prospects and our clients. So whether that's simply, additional conversations around what's available for short-term cash management, whether it's a cash flow analysis, which we do, which can be very useful, because if you do a cash flow analysis in a district, for instance, you can get a sense based on historical data and some projections as to how you might best invest in a daily liquidity stable net asset value product like the prime fund, or maybe allocate monies further out on the yield curve like you could with an enhanced cash strategy. So it gives you a better sense for your cash flows and a way to optimize what you're doing from an investment perspective. Lastly, we also do a lot of investment policy work. Justin, we haven't had that discussion yet, but we do a lot of investment policy analysis. And certainly if your investment policy has not been reviewed, is not current, you also want to make sure that you're maximizing your investment opportunities within that policy while still complying with the management of public funds in the state. So that's really all I had, Justin. Would be happy to field any questions or comments that anybody might have.
Well, thank you for that presentation. We really appreciate it.
Sure.
President Sutter, if you have any questions, comments?
No, sir. I actually saw the presentation at CSDA a couple of times.
You could have given it, right?
and I just saw Neil at the Aqua conference, and I was poking him because we hadn't seen Bob at this meeting yet. So good presentation.
Good.
Justin, I believe this is going to be a complement to the investment portfolio we already have, correct?
Yeah, that is correct. So what the way that I see it is, this is just helping us diversify our portfolio and giving us additional kind of investment management options. So, having somebody like Class and also with Camp having a professional investment advisor firm that's managing it, we have people we can come to and talk with just Leif, we don't have that option. So I think this is just helping diversify and increase our breadth of and sophistication with how we manage our investments with minimal staff kind of. and oversight.
And I think that that's the way that I would recommend that the lead-in be. Vice President Alvarado at the greater board meeting. Is that lead-in that Justin that you just gave? Because that would be my recommendation, is that we take this to the larger board meeting with that description. But I do have one other question. It's a question that I ask all of our investors, is to ensure that the investments meet our criteria, that we're not investing in undesirable corporations, and that it meets our high ethical bar, right? We don't want to, I personally subscribe to the RBI principle coming from tech, the regional business index. We're not investing in companies that use child labor or that overinvest in unethical practices, and that we are able as a board to look at a more granular level upon request of what those investments look like at a line item level, if we so desire. So we're not asking for it, or I'm not asking for it right now, but if we so desire, we want to know, are we investing in corporations that have been either debarred or the United States has said that we shouldn't be investing in certain companies overseas, even if it's tertiary or quaternary level investments. So we're going to need that kind of assurance that that class is doing that level of scrutiny.
Can I take that, Justin?
Sure.
I know it's a good point, Cheryl. The fund, both options, neither of those options are designated as ESG, for instance. However, it's part of the credit process for us as a firm at PTA. Be happy to get you some commentary on that, and also give you, for instance, today, if you want to take a look at the entire portfolio, we can make that available to you as well. We're completely transparent with everything we do.
Yeah, I think that that's and Vice President Alvarado, you can speak on this as you wish. I think that that's something that's that kind of assurance. I would like for you to bring that to the full board, because that is a question that I know I'm saying it here, but I will reiterate in front of the full board, and it's just something I think you should say to the full board, that you're not over-investing in fossil fuels. You're not over-investing in, I call it dirty money. I'm a scientist, so we have to walk our talk. And if we're going to walk our talk, then it includes the investments that we make, even as we drill down into the investment pool. And we ask this of all of our investors and our investment companies. That's it.
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Happy to provide anything you'd like on that topic. So I guess I can follow up. Should I follow up with Justin on that?
Yes. Yeah. Just be prepared to answer that. Yeah.
Yep. Sure.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, and I think you'll probably get a lot more questions than us here first than you will with the entire board. But it's always good to be prepared.
Absolutely.
When you're coming to see the full board. So, Justin, what else do you need from us to go forward with it?
So with that, I think we need the recommendation. So let me formally make it. Let me formally move that we move this item to the full board, sir, Chair Alvarado.
Okay,
and I will recommend it.
Okay, and I will second that. So I guess that's what you need, correct?
That is what we need. Yeah. So Carissa, just so you know, we no need to call roll at this point. Their motion second's good for
absolutely
for the records. Cool. Okay. Yes, that is all I need. And so we'll bring this to a future board meeting, and we'll see how quickly we can put all the information together, and I'll work with Bob on that.
All right. Well, thank you, Bob, for attending the meeting. Appreciate that.
Thanks
so much to everybody.
Great.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, what's the next item in the agenda?
Next item, matters from the members of the board, reports on issues or matters pertaining to the work of the committee.
Now, I'm going to take executive privilege and move forward to the next item because I'm pressed for time because like I said, I'm in Boston and I got to get moving here.
Last item is adjournment.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for attending, making it short and sweet.
Yes, like a sweet song.
Yeah, exactly. President Senate, I will be calling you a little bit to discuss another matter. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay,
All right,
this
thank you,
meeting
everybody.
is adjourned.
All right.
Thank
take
you.
care. Thank
Goodbye.
you. Bye-bye.